I got sunshine on a cloudy day. And when it's cold outside, I got the month of May. What can make me feel this way? My girl, my girl. Talking about my girl, my girl. Ooh, ooh. welcome, Inspired Tribe. Welcome to the Inspired Livestream on Inspired Channel. I'm Jean Nolan. This is Kristin Nolan. You can't see her, but she really exists. She does exist. Look at past live streams. Look at videos. Join our membership call. She does exist. It is Thursday, February 25th, 2020, WON21. We're excited that you're here. Thank you for tuning in. Let us know where you're tuning in from. So as soon as you join, give us your name in the live chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Connect with each other. That's what this is all about. And remember, tribe, we're healthy, we're wealthy, we're whole, and we are free. We're healthy, we're wealthy, we're whole, we're free. Also, for those of you who are fairly new to the tribe, or those who've been here and never, have taken advantage of it, Kristin and I created a free process for you all. It's called the Inspired Freedom Launcher, and it's a very, very, I call it a springboard. When you're at the pool, there's a springboard, and what you do is kind of like on a trampoline. You just keep jumping up and down, and all of a sudden you take that push, you take that power with you, and you jump. And that's what the Inspired Freedom Launcher is. We pinned it on the top of the live comment section, and just do it. It's completely free. You give us your email address, we send it to you, and that's it. Which also will allow us to, in future, let you guys know what we're up to, where we're moving, because we're slowly building up other platform presence as well. So lots of good news coming. You look like you want to say something.
No, I'm quiet.
Don't be.
I'm quietly watching you.
She's quietly watching me. I mean, she's observing me like a hawk. Just kidding. So, tribe, again, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Please hit the like button. This is going to be the last live stream for this week. And this one is called Forget Positivity. This is your true superpower. And if there's one thing that, especially over the past years, Kristin and I have observed over and over and over and over and over again, is that in their quest to better their lives and in their quest to improve their life situations, to manifest things, to do things, people oftentimes fall into this, it's almost a cult of positivity, which means that everything you think, everything you say, everything you write, everywhere you post, everything you comment needs to have the stamp of approval of positivity. It needs to be positive thinking, the power of positive thinking. And a lot of times what happens is people that have been doing that for a while and have been, doing positive affirmations, positive thinking, reminding themselves, what happens is they don't see the results in their life. They don't really move forward the way they want to or expand the way they want to. And then what they oftentimes say is, well, F this all. This doesn't work. This is all just woo-hoo. And so I'm just gonna do life as I did before. And we want to encourage you all to follow us on this thought pattern here, and to the contrary, not give up, but actually give in. Don't give up, just give in. And this is maybe the key word, because see, when you think certain thoughts over and over again, they do have an effect on you. But just the thought itself isn't as powerful as you think it is. What's really powerful is the belief that's underneath that thought. What's really powerful is what you really believe. And we always say, when the sun is out, when you have a beautiful day, you've gotten enough sleep, you have food in your belly, and there's a little bit of jangle in your bank account, you're probably not going to have any troubles with being somewhat coherent, because the beautiful thought that you're thinking they're kind of expressing themselves wonderfully in your environment. But if something out of the ordinary happens, if for some reason a payment doesn't come through, or you feel you wake up in the morning and you have this weird pain, or somebody was mean to you, or whatnot, when those things happen and you fall out of your balance, that's when your beliefs really kick in. That's where you can see what you really believe about that. And so what the positive thoughts do is they oftentimes just masquerade a vibration that's underneath. And that's why there's no movement forward. And that's why we always say that if you try to think positively so hard, you are missing out on the whole action of how to actually move into a beautiful state of well-being. And the key word here, and this is why I said give in, because when you give in, you allow. When you give in, you allow. You don't fight. The key word here is authenticity. And what is authenticity? It is not just to be who you truly are, because we all come as unique beings on this planet. We have unique talents. We have unique visions. We express ourselves uniquely. Thankfully so. We're all unique. And if we deny ourselves that authenticity, we move into this downward spiral where things don't really work out the way we desire them to be. And so authenticity means, number one, to be who you really are. And if that's a journey, because it always is, then that's fine. It's a journey to figure that out. And number two, and this is really important too, to accept the moment that you're in. This doesn't mean accept the circumstances. What it doesn't mean is, if I'm in a not desirable place right now, me accepting this means that I don't want to change that. That's not what it means. It means that in the moment you accept that this is the moment that you're experiencing, because when you do that, what happens? You quit fighting it. You quit resisting it. And as soon as you quit resisting, you find the first layer of peace. Okay, I'm accepting this. This is an authentic act. I'm accepting this. And out of this acceptance, you automatically, by default, because you move into this state, release resistance. So you're not thinking, this shouldn't be this way. I should be in a much nicer place. I shouldn't experience stuff like this. This is wrong. The universe didn't understand me right. I'm being punished. I am so poor. All of those things cease to exist in your mind when you allow yourself to accept the present moment. This is the moment that I'm experiencing. There's a scripture that says, this is the day God has made. And this is literally the same thing, just in different words. This is the moment that is here. And from that point of acceptance, of authenticity, you then have released resistance, and then you find space in your mind, space in your heart to move into a better feeling thing. And if you don't do that, what happens is every time you fight a situation that you're in, every time you push against a moment that you're in, you're really suppressing the feelings. You're just pushing them down. They're not going away. They're just pushed down, and eventually they will come up again. So that's why we are so... And we see this a lot. This is literally for I'd say at least 50% of the clients that come and work with us, work with Kristin, work in the courses. They have done so much work, and they have arrived at this belief that all they have to do is think positive. Because if they don't, if a negative thought comes into their minds, they might attract that thing. But what is that really? It's really fear. It's really fear. The positive thinking is then a lack thinking, if you believe it or not, because those are just the thoughts. And the thoughts in itself, they don't have a very strong vibration, but the belief underneath, oh my God, if I allow this negative thought into my mind, I'm going to create a negative situation. I'm going to attract something bad. Oh my God, now I'm already thinking about that. Now I'm already attracting that. And this is not how this works. This is a oversimplification of the universal laws. And that's why because these are pure, universal, always applicable, always working laws. They work at all times. It's not like you can you can move in and out of that. So what authenticity gives you is a true, real experience of your life in this moment. And we have to distinguish between two things here. And that's what we always, and this is kind of a bonus that's really, we always teach this in our courses. And this is one of the most important things. When you allow a true feeling in the moment, let's say that you're having an experience and that experience cause sadness. If you allow that sadness, that authentic sadness will last for a few minutes because it's an intense experience for your body. It cannot go much longer than a few minutes because there's so much work that the body has to do to experience that sadness. There's hormones and there's tears and there's all of that. So after a few minutes, the body naturally would move into a state of balance again. What does kick in is your mind, because your mind goes back to the experience and then it keeps reliving it. And from this moment forward, all the years of your life that you're going to keep reliving that experience, you're not having an authentic feeling anymore. You're having an emotion that's coming from an experience in the past that has really nothing to do with your experience in the present moment. This is one of the key things. When people understand that and begin to live that truth, everything begins to shift in their life. What that means is if you sit here and right now you're having a wonderful meal and this is really a sunny day and everything's going well, and then someone calls or someone says a name and all of a sudden you're being reminded of a past situation that caused you pain. And if by just thinking about it, that pain comes up again, that's not a real feeling anymore. That's an emotion. That is not authentic. That's an emotion. It comes from the past. You're dragging it with you. A true feeling happens when you're in this present moment and when you're experiencing what is happening. Whatever happens here, that's a real feeling. And it only happens once. Then you go on and go on. And every time when this happens in your life and you try to masquerade it with fake positivity, you do nothing but perpetuating that same situation. And authenticity means that you allow yourself to be a human being, that you allow yourself to have these experiences. And what's really important here, why we teach authenticity over anything, why this is the key element of everything that we do, is because we believe that the authentic state of every human being, regardless of what their individual strengths and talents are, regardless of what their individual vision is, I believe that well-being is our authentic natural state. That's our authentic natural state. So when we heal past trauma, when we transform limiting beliefs, when we move into this authentic space, then well-being is our natural state most of the time. That's how we naturally vibrate. Then if something happens, if we have a bad moment, if we have a bad day, if we have a bad hour, it's fine. We accept that it's the moment that is unfolding, because I know that if I accept that and if I walk through it, I will move into that state of natural well-being again. If you sit there and try to talk yourself into it, you will be frustrated over and over and over again, because there's a reason why you have to talk yourself into it. There is a reason why and we love affirmations. We love practicing vibration, but it should never be a constant thing throughout your life that you cannot be in a state of well-being unless you repeat those thoughts over and over and over and over again. This is a practice tool. It is not a living tool. It's a practice tool. You want to practice this. And once you're in that authentic state, you want to teach your mind again, because from the past, it's used to thinking in habitual patterns. It's used to thinking maybe thoughts that don't feel well. But once you heal, once you transform, once you move out of that past trauma into something new, then those affirmations are just that. They are affirming the new state. They are co-creating the new state, but they are not the sole driver of this thing, because just a statement in itself will never drive a new experience. And that's why all of you, or most of you, know teachers like, Dr. Bruce Lipton, who talks about this in other terms. People like Dr. Joe Dispenza, he will always say this. If you just sit down and if you just make statements, positive statements, but your emotional state underneath hasn't changed, nothing in your experience will really change. That's why he teaches, and that's why in other ways we do that too. We teach people to transform their vibrational, their emotional, their feeling state and expand into a new transformed state, because then that's the driver of your experience. And those positive, beautiful thoughts, those affirmations, they fall on ground that actually allows them to grow, that allows this experience to become your new reality. So just sitting down and thinking positive thoughts when really you believe that you are a victim, or that your life is crappy, or that you deserve better, or that you shouldn't be treated like that by other people, and that somehow what you're experiencing is wrong, it's not going to work the way you want it to work. Authenticity is the key. And we have, in our membership call just yesterday, we have discussed this, how in the past, some of our members who believed that they needed to be positive at all times, they were struggling constantly between this push and pull. I have this underlying feeling or belief that makes me feel uneasy, but I'm constantly trying to push myself into this positive box. And it never worked out. It always created frustration for them. It always put them in a vicious cycle. And once we repeated over and over and over and over again, we said, oh, it's okay. It's okay for you to feel that sadness right now. It's okay for you to feel that pain that you're feeling right now. You allow yourself to do it. First key, accepting what's happening in this moment. And then to actually go and transform past trauma, because we all have it. The way we live, the way this society lives, the way most people, I'd say 97, 98% of the people on this planet live, they experience trauma in their childhood. It doesn't have to be the worst. It doesn't have to be the most atrocious, but everyone experiences emotional trauma. And when we transform that, when we heal that, when we really move, because this energy doesn't go away, it can only be transformed. Remember that. Energy doesn't go away, but it can be transformed. When we transform that past trauma energy into empowering things, into healing things, then you move into that authentic state. And that's what we have been seeing with our course participants, with our clients, and with our membership members, is that they then have 5, 7, 8 minutes where they go on a rant maybe, and they have to vent about something. But then as soon as that authentic moment has, or is gone, they naturally move into a state of well-being again, because that's their natural authentic space. That's where we want to get to. We want to get to this space where we remember as humans that well-being is our nature. It isn't something that we have to constantly remind our minds to be. If that's the case, then there is an underlying issue that needs to be transformed. And that's the power of authenticity. And why we said this is a superpower is because once you move into your authentic space of being, of thinking, of creating, you unleash the superpower within you. And what's that superpower? It's something that only you have. It's something that is unique to you. It is even uniquer than the physical DNA that you carry. It is a unique combination of talents, strengths, visions, words, feelings that makes up something so unique that only you can be. And when you live that, when you get to 100% of living that power, you will have a life of predominant well-being. It won't mean that you will just experience sunshine and rainbow, but you will know that well-being is your nature. And then the statement that you've all heard over and over again, everything always works out for me, takes on the real and true and authentic meaning. It doesn't mean that every experience I have feels super awesome every time. What it does mean is that I know, because I created it, I know that it works out for me. And as our wonderful, beautiful friend Louise Hay has always said, and she's made her journey years ago, but her words are still around, her wisdom is still around. She always said, only good lies before me. And she always said, even if I'm in an experience that feels uncomfortable to me, I trust that only good, I know that it is good because I know that only good always lies before me. But we do not get to decide all the steps in our path. It's not how this works. We do not get to see the whole how. So sometimes what seems to be a negative experience turns into something even greater and more positive. And that's what this really means, is to understand that a moment of discomfort can be the greatest blessing if we allow to really authentically see the statement for what it is. Everything always works out for me. It means that everything always works for my highest good. Sometimes a moment of discomfort works for my highest good. It allows me to expand even further. And that's authenticity. That's living life. And then you are not afraid of having that moment anymore. You're not afraid that you're creating something bad if you're sitting there. And if you have the need to cry for 5 minutes because something makes you sad, cry, be sad for a little while, allow it, it will pass. That's authenticity. That's when you move into your true power. And it's always really, really wonderful to see. We've seen this in the documentary, Tony Robbins documentary. I remember that moment. It's called this I'm Not Your Guru. And there's this moment where Tony Robbins speaks about a key moment in his life. And he speaks about helping a young kid with, you have to watch it. I don't want to give too much away, but he helped a kid in a situation where that kid needed help, but he himself, could have required help too, but he just did it. He went and helped that kid. And just talking about it and talking about the joy that he had experienced brings him to tears in a documentary. And the narrator or the reporter that did the interview said, well, if this makes you emotional, how are we normal humans supposed to deal with everything that's going on in life? And Tony Robbins said something to the extent of, this is authentic, this is real, this is being a real human being. And this is the empowering stuff. This is where you move beyond a fake reality that is 100% positive all the time, that only has positive affirmation, positive thoughts. And you move into the real authentic well-being. That's powerful. That's really, really powerful. And more than that, you unleash your superpower, which is that which only you have. And that's also something we're seeing with our tribe, with our members, with our course participants, with our aspiring coaches. They're all moving into their own power because they're not becoming all the same. They are becoming even more in their uniqueness through this process. That's what we desire to help them do, is to become 100% the authentic version of who they are, to really step into their true power. That's their superpower. And only you have that. There's not a single living being on a planet, even if you're an identical twin, who has exactly the superpower you have. That's authenticity, and that feels good. And it's not going to work for everyone around you. If you live your authentic self, you're going to inspire a lot of people, and people who are so out of touch with authenticity, they're going to be pissed off by you because you don't vibe like everyone else. You don't speak like everyone else. You don't buy into mass, belief systems. You believe what you believe because it's authentically what you have experienced in your life. And that's when you move mountains, but not with your muscles. You move mountains because you unleash the power of the conscious co-creator. That's a whole different experience, and it transcends positivity. But positivity is then a natural part of it, but it transcends this belief. We have to constantly hammer this into our minds. It doesn't work that way, and it isn't fun that way either. And if you go and if you tonight, maybe if you set aside 30 minutes, and if you think that those 30 minutes, rather than doing whatever else you usually do, might be better invested in a beautiful meditation, then set the intention that you're going to move into your authentic space tonight. Nothing else. Maybe you'll be inspired to listen to some music. Maybe you'll be inspired to look up a Joe Dispenza meditation. He's an amazing guide, or someone else. But just set the intention to move into your authentic space and experience what that means. Because that's as humans, what happens. We do not necessarily always respond to the most positive person in a room. because that can be an act, that can be fake. What we really respond to is the most authentic, and that's always the highest vibing. Whoever's authentic is high vibing in their own right. Even people that are, let's say, sarcastic, they have a sarcastic sense of humor, but if they are in their authentic space, we're attracted to that authenticity because we want to feel realness. We want to feel authenticity. That's more powerful than anything else. And that's what we as humans are always attracted to. So we'd encourage you, do that. Set your intention for your meditation, maybe over the next days, and let's see how that works out and what comes up for you. A fair word of warning. When you begin discovering that, you might discover that you are really someone different than the world believes you are, and maybe even someone different than you up until now believed you are. Chances are you're far grander than you think you are. Chances are you are a much bigger creator than you think you are. And chances are you have way more to give than you thought you had to give. So this all might happen. If you move, and when you move into your authentic space, your life will change. And proportionally to the level of authenticity that you're living, when you get to 100%, you will be someone completely different than you were before. And that's a good thing. You will be the real you. You will be the authentic you. That's the most powerful thing you can be. But your reality around you changes. Your circle of friends changes. How people view you changes. Be okay with that. Be fine with that. It's a process. It's ever evolving, always expanding, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So that's your superpower, authenticity. Now, as always, if you feel like you want to, you have that feeling, this resonates with you, and you want to step on that journey and want to, be even more empowered and empower yourself even more. One of the ways to do it is of course, to join one of our courses. But we never want to make you believe we're sitting here to sell you on something. If you feel inspired and aligned with that, we'd love to have you. If you don't feel inspired, there's other great teachers out there to do that, and we love many of them. And whatever you feel inspired to do. But if you feel inspired to join us, we'll soon start the next round of the Inspired One course, the Empower Yourself. It's a wonderful, we meet once a week on a live Zoom call, very empowering course. You can ask our past participants. We have the weekly membership call. That's also a very empowered group of people that we're moving with every week. It's always a Wednesday night. Or you can do one of the same thing, a pre-recorded course. We have that too on our website. So the Empower Yourself, you can either do it live or you can do a pre-recorded version on your own time. So those are kind of all of the options. We'd love to have you. We love nothing more than helping, guiding, and being part of your journey. That's it. It fulfills us so much, and in all ways that we do it. So thank you for being with us today. This was the last live stream for the week. We'll be here again on Monday, 2 p.m. Central, as always. And until then, enjoy, explore that authentic you. Allow yourself, if a moment comes up where something doesn't feel so good, okay, just accept it. That acceptance will already move you forward. And just be in joy. In joy. E-N and joy, and you'll see that beautiful things begin to happen. One last thing, if any of you feel inspired to help our aspiring coaches that are in the coaching academy and want to be practice clients, reach out, send us an email. We will forward it to our coaches, and you can become a practice client. It's completely free of charge, of course, but you will help them, and in the process, you might get some secondhand benefits from these processes that they're practicing. Alma thank you so much. Thank you. You are such. Aww. Yeah, she's making sure that we're supporting our local bakery, because that's where your donations, your contributions go. And thank you, because we get that question by email and in the comments often. How can we contribute? You guys do the live streams and stuff, and I want to contribute. There's multiple ways to do that. If maybe you want to shop in our merch store, maybe you want to do it like Alma, who sends us her contributions here in the super chat in the YouTube option, or there's a link in the description that leads to a PayPal option. If you feel inspired, by all means, contribute, support. Thank you. We really appreciate it. So, tribe, we'll be here again on Monday. And until then, be inspired, have fun, and expand into your true, authentic self. We love you all. See you soon.